Hello friends and welcome to Tutorials Point. Now we've covered quite a lot of topics in grammar, right? We've studied about verbs, we've even studied about subject-verb agreement rules, isn't it? Okay, so now we're going to study another aspect which is related to verbs itself, but the name is slightly different. It's referred to as tenses. Isn't it kind of surprising? Because we always imagined tenses to be one big mountain in English grammar which we probably could never climb, isn't it? But the reality is it is not as tough. It is just a form of a verb, right? But here the difference is that it is that form of verb which tells you about the time when that particular action happened. So isn't it really interesting? Like verbs, look at verbs, dude, they are so amazing. They tell you so much. There is so much that, verbs can be changed into to get new different terms, right? Okay, so we'll go ahead and we will study without any further ado. Let's go ahead and see what are tenses and how are they related to verbs. Okay, so here again, I'll tell you a story. And from here, you'll be able to gauge as to why did I say that, tenses are a form of verbs. So, there's a colleague of mine, though the story, you might feel that it's, it's created or it's fiction, but it's not. So there's a colleague of mine, his name is Rajiv, and Rajiv loves to have coffee. He enjoys coffee, right? So yesterday what happened, he left early from the office, he finished his work and all, he completed his shift and he decided that let me go for let me feast myself with coffee today. So he left early from the office, finished his work and everything, he left and he reached the coffee shop. But to his dismay, when he reached there, he was, very, very sad to see that the shop had already closed. But because he's an ardent coffee lover, he's not going to stop there. He decided that he's going to go again today. So now I'm working here, okay, but he's already left. And he's reached the coffee shop and he's sitting and sipping and enjoying his coffee. He just gave me a call. He told me that he's completely loving it, yeah. So I'm sure not only today, but because of his ardent love, and his abundant love for coffee, I'm sure he's going to keep going again and again. And I'm sure he's going to keep enjoying his coffee for life. Yeah. So this story I just told you, yeah. So what is how, is this story related to the topic that we're going to study today? So here is the secret that you're going to discover. Now see, Rajiv likes coffee. So here, there's a verb in this sentence, right? Likes is the verb. But here, what is the root verb of likes? Likes is, is a converted form of a verb, right? So like is the root form of the verb. But when we converted it to likes, it actually told us the time because we converted it, it attached a timeline to this work. So here likes means something that has been happening, has happened in the past, happens in the present and will happen in the future, right? So he likes coffee means this is something that is constant, right? He likes coffee. So which means because we converted this verb into a different form, hence what did we do? We attached a time frame to it, right? So once we attached a time frame to it, what did it become? It became a tense. That's it. So he decided. So here again, when we read this word decide is the root verb, right? So when we read this word decided, what does it indicate? It indicates that this is a decision which this guy whom we are referring to here took maybe somewhere in the past, because it's decided. So once you convert it, here again there is a, that time clause comes into picture, right? Now it's no more only a verb. It's now converted into a different form, which is also telling you the time when this verb happened. So what is this time frame? It is nothing but your tense. Yeah. So now you understand how these verbs can transition from just being verbs to being tenses, yeah? Okay. He decided to have it in a coffee shop close to his workplace. So he decided to have it. So here again, when you read this entire, have is also a verb here. So he decided to have it. So when you read this together, what does it mean? It means that he decided to have it yesterday, or because it's decided, hence have here is also a verb which is done, or which we are referring to here, that is something related to the past, right? So here again, this is how these tenses, these verbs actually transition from one time frame to the other time frame to make this colossal view of tenses, right? Okay. So he left from work yesterday. So here again, left is a work that is done. He, leave, past form of leave is what we are referring to here, right? So again, he left from work. So when he left from work, that again indicates something that happened in the past. So again, a timeline attached. So once a timeline is attached, a verb will no more only have the properties of a verb. Now that verb is displaying a form of a tense, right? So it could be something that is that. So because here it is left, so specifically it means something that happened in the past, right? So isn't it really amazing and adventurous and interesting to know that, how these verbs change from one frame of time to the other and to the third. So isn't it really interesting? This is what is tenses, nothing else. It's very easy. It's just, an adventure of verbs from one time frame to the other time frame. That's it. Okay. So he left from work yesterday to go to the shop. By the time he reached there, so here again, reach is the root verb here, but now it's no more only reach, it is reached, right? So when we are using this verb reach, so what is it indicating? It is again indicating a time frame. So something that happened in the past, right? Reached. So you have this, once you read this word, this is the only picture that quickly hits your mind, that is, it is something that happened in the past. So again, because it is a verb form and it is, it is referring to a time frame, so it is nothing but a tense, form of a tense, yeah? Okay, the shop was already closed. So here again, was already closed. So again, something happening in the past, yeah? But he didn't give up, again, something that he decided to do in the past. He decided to go to the shop, to the coffee shop again the next day. He decided something again related to a time frame, again transitioning from only being a verb to being a tense form of a verb, yeah? Well, the shop closes at 6 in the evening. So again, closes. So this is something that is constant. It closes means it it used to close at 6 in the evening. It will today also close at 6 in the evening, and perhaps it might as well close at 6 tomorrow also. So again, a time frame attached to this form of work. Okay, so he has left, again left. So left again, he would have done this work not right. He's done this work not exactly right now. He's done this probably a few seconds or a few hours ago. So again, a time frame. He has reached, so has reached there already. Okay, again a time frame. And is enjoying the coffee. So something that has been happening over a period of time, enjoying coffee, yeah? So it is something that is continuously happening. So again, because it is, giving you a view, giving you a picture of the time frame. So again, it is a tense form of a verb. And I am sure he will go tomorrow as well. So again, he will go tomorrow as well. So will go tomorrow, again something that you are predicting will happen in the future. Yeah. Not only tomorrow, he will continue doing this in future as well. So again, some prediction that you've made and that is yet to happen, which means you are here, referring to a future form of the prediction. Yeah. So isn't it really so interesting and amazing to discover how, the different roles that verbs can play in your daily language? Yeah. So this role, wherein a verb, tells you about the time when it actually happened, this role which it plays is nothing but is called as a tense form of a verb. Very easy, nothing tough, very, very simple. Whenever there's a time frame that is attached to a verb, yeah, past, present or future, it is referred to as the tense form of a verb. Okay, so quite a lot of introduction I've already given you about tenses, and I'm sure now it's going to become very simple and easy for you to comprehend whatever I just told you. So let's just read a concrete definition of what actually tenses are. Okay, so grammar tenses refer to the state of a verb that explains the time of action. So as I already told you, so the form of verb wherein the time of its action is attached along with not just being a verb form of it is nothing but a tense form of a verb. So as I already told you, there are three major tenses, very easy: past, present and future. Something that has already happened is what is referred to as the past tense. Something that is happening right now is your present tense, and something that you predict would happen somewhere near future is your future tense. Okay, so here I'll just a few examples. I ate. So when you say I ate means you're referring to something that you did maybe sometime before. So it is something that is referring to as something that happened in the past. So I ate, yeah. So that means it is referring to a past tense. I eat. So when you say this, you're talking about the present tense, so something that is happening in the present. Or I will eat, so something that you predict would happen in the near future. So this is the magic which verbs can spread in your language, and one of which is nothing but your tenses. Yeah, so this is what is the importance of verbs, and because these are important, hence the tense form of it is even more important, because until and unless we are aware of the time frame, until and unless we are aware as to when did a particular thing happen, it is this everything in our life will go haywire. Because if you don't know when did a particular thing happen, do you think this entire concept of time will ever exist in our life? No, it won't. So time is a very, very important ingredient in our life. So this ingredient, which is very important, comes into picture. It manifests itself in our language in the form of tenses. Clear? I'm sure you all are. Okay. Okay, so here are a few sentences, and here you have to recognize as to which verb in the following sentences attaches a timeline with itself and hence indicates a form of a verb. Okay, when I opened my eyes, I saw a strange sight. So here opened is what is actually a form of a verb that is telling you about the time when this particular action happened. Right? I saw, again saw is a form of a verb which is also telling you about the time of action. Every morning she wakes up early and gets ready for work. So here wakes up or wakes is the primary form of the tense that is telling you about the time frame. Gets ready is also another form of a verb which is telling you about the time frame of the work when it is done. If I knew what he wanted, I would not permit this. So here knew and wanted both are the forms of verb which tell you about the time frame as well. I haven't heard anything from her in a long time. So haven't heard, so here heard is something that is again telling you about the time of work. The headmaster wants to talk to you. So here again wants is a form of a verb, right, that is telling you about the time frame as well. Jane lives with her parents. So here lives is again the tense form of a verb in short. We are visiting Greece next month. So visiting has a time frame attached to it, hence it is the tense form of a verb. The moon revolves around the sun. So revolves again is the tense here which is used. She has written a novel. So written is the form of the verb which again is telling you the time of work. All the students have handed in their homework. So handed is the form of the verb that is telling you about the time frame. I have been teaching English for 12 years now. So have been teaching is this entire, the verbatim which is used here is telling you about the time as to what or what time frame are they actually referring to. The students are rehearsing their dialogue. So rehearsing is again that form of the verb that is telling you about the time as to when it is taking place. Okay. So you have all the answers ready for you here whenever you practice it. So friends, this was all about tenses. We will see you again in the next video. Till that time, keep learning, keep enjoying with Tutorials Point and Tutorix. We'll see you again. Have a good day.